Jesus, Akandineluwe. Jesus.
Hello everyone, welcome once again to my channel. Please, if you have not subscribed, just click on the subscription button so that you get notified when we upload any new video again. I am your regular host, Mrs. Debbie Amechi. I want to say welcome and welcome to you, my old subscribers, my old viewers. Thank you for always coming. Thank you for always following us. I am grateful. Welcome once more. In our today's edition, I want to talk about the miracle that God did in my life. I captioned this edition from fibroid to fine boy. Fibroid to fine boy. Why are you smiling? Why are you smiling? So this is miracle. This is my son. He was the fibroid in disguise. He was the fibroid. Are you shy? He was the fibroid in disguise. But God turned the fibroid into a fine boy. Miracle is 12 years old today. What is your name?
My name is Christopher Miracle.
Yes. From fibroid to fine boy. This is a life testimony. I want to use this testimony to encourage you. You have your doctor's reports. You have your scan results, and the scan result said, "Madam, no way for you. You have fibroid, and because you have fibroid, you cannot conceive. Because you have fibroid, you cannot give birth to any child." But the Bible says, "Whose report will you believe?" They gave me the same report. I had fibroid. Not just fibroid, I had multiple fibroid. It was multiple. It was really, when I say multiple, it was multiple. Big and multiple. And each time I get pregnant, I miscarry the pregnancy. I had about 3 miscarriages before finally my miracle child came. My miracle child came. He's just 12 years old, but he's even taller than me. Stand up. He's taller than me. He's just coming back from school now with his school uniform. I have to drag him. I saw you, come, let us do this video. So that this testimony will give hope to the hopeless. It will give hope to the hopeless. All right, you have seen him. He is the fibroid being turned to fibroid. From fibroid to fine boy. Miracle, welcome. Sorry I had to drag you into my video. You're going to take your bait. He's just coming back from school while I continue with my video. My dear people, 12 years back, it was not easy. It was a tough journey. Each time I get pregnant, I miscarry. After my wedding, I had about 3 miscarriages. None of them lasted up to 2 months, and they would just go. But when I got pregnant for Miracle, I went to the scan at 3 months. And when I got pregnant, that first month, when I got pregnant, I missed my period. So I went to do the pregnancy test immediately, and it was confirmed that I was pregnant. I was not so happy because I expected another miscarriage. So I held my peace. 1 month went. That 1 month I did not see my period, and I was confirmed pregnant. But by the 2nd month, when it get to the date I was supposed to see my period again, if as per adventure I wasn't pregnant, you understand? But because I was pregnant, I'm not supposed to see my period. But the next month, I saw my period again. You understand? Though it was not as heavy as it used to be. So I was like, could it be period or could it be miscarriage? I didn't go to the hospital. I took care of myself. I was padding myself and all that. So by the time that bleeding stopped for about 1 week, and I went to hospital to do another test. And the test still confirmed I was pregnant. I went home again when it was 3rd week, the 3rd month. The 3rd month I went for pregnancy again. The pregnancy said I was pregnant. So then I went to register for antenatal. So the prerequisites for the antenatal registration was to do a scan. They sent me to a scan. When I went to the scan room, the scan also showed that I am pregnant. But my cervix was covered with fibroid. The womb was covered with fibroid. In fact, fibroid everywhere. Fibroid everywhere. And the sonographer, I think that's what they used to call them, the person that was doing the scan was like, wow, madam, I've not seen this type. You mean with this kind of with this type of fibroid, multiple and big size fibroid, big mass fibroid in your womb, a baby can still be breathing inside the womb? I think it's a miracle. It's a miracle, but you just take the scan result to your doctor. So when I got to the doctor, the doctor saw the result and they advised I remove the pregnancy. The doctor advised for D&C. The doctor advised for D&C that I should remove the pregnancy. I looked at myself. I said, no, I will not do that. If this pregnancy wants to go out, it should have gone out like the rest. At least I miscarried about 3. It should go by itself. I wouldn't do D&C. They said, go and discuss with your husband. When I got home, I told my husband what the doctor said. My husband said, no, if it is miscarried, let this pregnancy miscarry by itself. But it's not going to sign for any D&C. That was how I carried the pregnancy. And the bleeding continued. Every month I will still be bleeding. Pregnant and still using pad. I bled for 7 months. It was a difficult task. When the pregnancy was 4 months, I went to antenatal. The doctor said, madam, you're very stubborn. You have to remove this pregnancy so that you will not die. You are still a young girl. Somebody will not born pikin, at least making that alive. I said, doctor, I'm not going to remove this pregnancy. At that 4 months, you need to see how big, how blown my tummy was. That 4 months, it was like 9 months pregnancy. People thought I was almost like 9 months. And people thought I was 9 months because it was very big. Walking to walk was a problem. I sit all day. So they were like, since you're stubborn, whatever it is that comes your way, you carry the cross alone. But we have advised you as medical practitioners to remove the pregnancy. I refused. So they now said, if God willing, you understand, God being on my side, that they will not allow the pregnancy to get to 9 months. That by 7 months, they will have to carry out a cesarean section by 7 months. So I'm not to stress me much, I'm not to stress the baby much. So I went home, I keep on praying and believing God. Because I believe in God so much. I believe in prayer so much. And I'm one woman that have a very strong faith. I am strong-willed and I have a very strong faith. And my husband supported me all this period. It was not easy. So after that 4 months, instead of my pregnancy, when the woman's pregnancy is advancing, like 6 months, 7 months, the pregnancy will start, looking downwards. But my own was looking upwards. After the 4 months, 5 months, pregnancy was coming up. 6 months, 7 months. At 7 months, here, what is the name of this thing? Here, if I bend, I'll be touching pregnancy. Because of it, I stopped going to church. I stopped going out. Because if you passed me by the road, people were like, wow, God forbid, Tofiakwa, which kind of belle be this? That is what I keep on saying. When people pass by me, they will turn back and say, Tofiakwa, I reject this kind of pregnancy. People were rejecting my kind of pregnancy. People were rejecting my miracle. So, but each time I go to scan, they will always tell me the fibroid is not allowing the baby to breathe. The fibroid is bigger than the baby, older than the baby. The fibroid has occupied everywhere. There is no space for the baby to even grow. There is no space for the baby to even move around. The baby is just there like one small wall gecko. No space to move around. And that is why they advised me to do. Fibroid was suppressing the baby. And that is why I continue bleeding every month. I stopped going anywhere because of what people were saying. People were forbidding my miracle. People were forbidding my pregnancy. Lo and behold, 7 months came. I packed my things. The date they gave us, I packed my things. We went to the hospital for the cesarean section. When we got there, they said 4 pints of blood will be needed. They took 2 pints of blood from my husband's body and we paid for 2 pints of blood, which is 4 pints of blood. they sent me to the scan room to do a scan so that they will know the present state of the baby and all that before the cesarean section will commence. So we went to the scan room, and upon getting there, the weight of the baby was still in centimeter. My baby was not up to 1 kg. 7 months old pregnancy was not up to 1 kg. And the doctor was like, if they operate on this pregnancy, the child will not survive. That even a premature, 7 months is premature. People deliver their children and their babies at 7 months. And it weighs, some premature children weighs 2 kg, 2.1.8, 2. This one is 7 months and it's not up to 1 kg. It's not up to 1 kg. It's just like one small lizard there. And the doctor said they cannot operate on this child because he will not survive. The scan has already said it's a boy, that the boy will not survive, that I should go. They gave me a lot of things. I'll be drinking a lot of drugs. They told me to change my diet. They told me to eat a lot of things so that this baby will get big. So they gave me another appointment in 2 months' time, which is, by then I'll be 9 months. So they will operate on the baby, if I will survive it. By that 7 months already, I was only, in fact, if you see me when I sleep in the night, you will pity for me. Most of the times I sit down till daybreak. I sit down and I sleep till daybreak. Because you don't know how to lie down. The baby that was even, the pregnant that was touching my mouth, I don't even know how to lie down. My delicious family, the journey was hell. The bleeding continued. I was always on injection. Primolut, that's the name of the injection they usually give me. I know how many times I had cases of bleeding, as in the bleeding will go out of control and they will be controlling it with injection. Primolut was the name of that injection. I was always on Primolut. Day in, they will be giving me Primolut. Even at the time, I had to pack my things. I went to the hospital. Then the pregnancy was about 8 months plus. I went to the hospital. I stayed in the hospital for weeks. And every day, I was being given Primolut injection. They will give me Primolut injection. They will give me vitamin K. In fact, I saw when, if you see me that time, I was as white. I was so white. If I would be drinking hemoglobin 12 just to make sure. It was terrible. Eating became a problem. If I'm eating, it's as if the pregnancy is already on my neck. So when the pregnancy is on my neck, how can food enter the neck? How can food pass through? My husband suffered that period. But I really thank God for grace upon him. As I was firm, as I was strong-willed, himself, he was strong-willed. He did everything for me. I cannot bathe myself. I cannot do anything. Even to wear pants. I will stand like this. My husband will carry my one leg up, put my leg inside pants. He will carry the other leg. My husband will wear me pants because I cannot bend down. If I want to sit down, I will be helped to sit down. If I want to stand up, I will be helped to stand up. As if it's a disease. As if my miracle wanted to turn to a disease. But I kept hold on the word of God that says, whose report will you believe? I said I believe the report of God that says I will not die in this pregnancy, that I will deliver like the Hebrew women. I believe the report of the Lord that says he is the one that maketh the impossibility to become possible. What is your own story? What did the doctor tell you? What have the doctor concluded on your case?